Flatstick Golf, bro.
3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2. 1 putt, par 4, birdie, woohoo. New driver, info, replace, M2, par 5, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, it drew.
It's like 1:30 in the morning, and we're headed 550 miles, approximately, to the Pine Barrens.
Shooter McGavin, 2 thumbs that's up high and 2 fingers pointed at you, pew pew. Fairway to green, conk off that I'm playing. Sometimes these par 3 green look like an island, I play and keep it on.
Yeah, this week we're going to have Ryan from the MondayQ. I think he's got a little jammed up traffic or something like that, so maybe we'll push that one to next week. But what do you think of the President's Cup race? I figured we'd just have a quick chat. President's Cup was wild. I thought it was really cool. I was hoping to get down there. Anthony, my good buddy Anthony Spagnoli, was down there right after, and I know a lot of people are down there checking it out. But did you get to watch a lot of it?
I didn't get to watch a lot of it. I got to watch some of it though.
Did you watch the Saturday?
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
the main one I watched, which was good. So,
What
I'll
team?
start with
Okay,
that.
what team are you rooting for? Like,
yeah, I'm just rooting for a good show at
Okay,
that point.
all right.
It's kind of both my countries, you know.
it is.
Like,
It definitely is.
it's
Yeah.
hard for me to pick a side. I obviously was on the side of everyone thinking that U.S. would smoke them, which they did. But
Yeah.
I don't think the end score should, like, if you look back 10 years from now and look at the score, it's not what it looked like.
No, so I saw something pretty cool. I think the holes won during the event was 177 to 176, or like very close to there. It was one. So the U.S. won one more hole during the whole tournament. But I thought the same thing. I talked to a few guys about it, and I kind of thought the same thing. I thought the international squad would have to have a pretty substantial lead going into the singles matches because
Yeah.
I think everybody kind of like Mike Weir maybe would have changed some things and got a little creative. I don't know, but like pretty much it's like you got to go Hideki against Chef. You got to like put your top dogs like, you know, against Adam Scott.
I didn't love Jason Day against Xander. I would have threw one of the young guns in there. Like I would have threw like Minwoo or someone like just with all the jam and just fired up to be there. And just come out firing. That's my only complaint I have with
the best matchup was definitely Tom Kim. Kim should have played against Xander. If you're like, you're like hoping that you're going to be able to pull something out, because there was just a ton of emotion. So like that was kind of my point, is especially those two matchups. I feel like, you know, with all due respect, like what are you going to do? Throw Mac Hughes in and whoever else, and just like, you know, give up those matches? Like, are you just like conceding those, or to get better, more favorable matches like later on? Or are you trying to go pretty much like, you know, pound for pound, however you want to put it? Like Hideki was the top player on the international team, so you put him against Scotty Scheffler, and it's just
the thing was too, I didn't know why they didn't go with all their big guns right off the rip, because US only needed 3.5 points. Like I don't know why. I don't know, maybe they did, but I feel like they had a couple guys that were kind of down the list that I thought should have been teeing off early. But nevertheless, I mean, I think a lot of people agree with me in this, is the President's Cup as of right now will never be the Ryder Cup, and that's fine. I think everyone knows that. But after watching it this past weekend, I don't know if it's far off. Like I think it's starting to kind of get not there, but it's getting closer to having the jam and the excitement, and if internationals can put together a good ass team in the few next coming years, it might be right there.
It's a pretty young team, right? So like the only like turnover they would have is probably Jason Day and Adam Scott, and maybe Matsuyama, but I feel like Hideki's got a few more years in him still. Sure. You know, but there are a lot of really good young players. The only thing is, like, then as soon as you say those names, there's like Nick Dunlap. There's like other players that are going to fill in.
Batia.
Right. Actually, Batia, like the U.S. players are going to fill in there and be just as good. It's just there's so much golf in the U.S., right? So, so as we're listening at this point, 18.5 to 11.5 was the score. So it was obviously dominated one way, but it was 5-5 after after what they have the 4-ball on Saturday, right? So
The
like,
U.S. swept and then the international
yeah,
swept.
so for the first time in any type of
Yep.
team,
Ever.
any type, like whether it be the Solheim Cup, Ryder Cup, or
President's Cup.
I think there was like one other one that they mentioned on broadcast, but that was like a pass type tournament, but it was the first time in like 20 events or 20 years of playing the events that they've ever had something like that happen, which was wild, man, cuz it was Ben Ann who made the putt, right? On
I think so.
Saturday. It was like a 15-footer in his wall. He kind of like walked it in, dropped the, yeah, cuz he was using the
Broomstick, yeah.
the broomstick. So like seeing that was absolutely crazy. I kind of thought to myself, because I had conversations and I said to a few people, like, realistically, it's going to be hard. Like, they have to be up. And then when I saw the Friday, I was like, or third, however it started, you know what I mean? But like after the first, after they get shut out 5-0, I was like, oh, this could get like really bad. But seeing that, I don't know, kind of a glimmer of hope, I guess. And like, obviously that probably made Mike Weir feel pretty good. You know, his matchups went exactly how he wanted to. And, you know, being able to, just beat, like, anytime being able to beat like a team that has Scotty Scheffler on it right now, because him and Russ Henley were like kind of
And
perfect, man.
Xander.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, they're good. They're a good pairing.
they were a really good pairing, right? Because Russ
Well-
Henley's a top tier putter, right? And like
And he's a good ball striker.
both very good ball strikers, so they complemented each other well. And like he played great, man. Like he got overshadowed obviously by Scotty, but he played great, like debatably even better than Scotty did in that on the Saturday there, I guess it was. But
Yeah.
it
And then
was
how do you beat Xander and Patty Ice? Like it's just they have the friendship, they have the skill, and they got the chemistry.
well, they had a 2 or a 3 up lead on them.
and then
Lost it. I think it's just like those guys just Patty Ice is like made for the Ryder Cup, man. Like,
I know.
You
I
know
know,
how
yeah.
like remember all the drama? Like I think when they were at
Oh, yeah.
Whistling Straits and they were like, he's like, I'm not wearing a hat and stuff like that, unless it, like it was all the like
No,
BS or whatever.
that was in Rome.
Oh yeah, that was in Rome. That's right.
Shaking the hats at him.
Yeah. So like I don't know. I kind of like that about Patrick Cantley, because you don't hear anything about the guy
I love it.
otherwise, except that he
It's
plays
almost like
7-hour
It's almost like
rounds.
he comes out of the bedroom just for the Ryder Cup. Like every other time,
Mhm.
he's just in his own bedroom doing his own thing, just playing golf.
Yeah.
And then he steps out when the Ryder Cup's there.
Yeah, so it kind of, and he's always there. He's always like a top player, top ball striker. Like, you see that like low hook he had on like 17 or whatever, or 16, whichever
did.
one it was with the water. That was such a
I'm almost
bizarre shot.
I'm almost wondering if the shot tracer kind of like made it look even like
Even
lower,
worse.
more hooking.
It might have. It definitely might have.
Because it didn't end up that bad, did it?
No, it actually like stayed out of the water.
Yeah.
It didn't reach
it
the
was
water.
inside the hazard though, but it was like playable.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was, you know, good in that sense that he was still able to play it, but it was just
But
like a
that shot
strange shot to
tracer
see.
made it look like it went 180 yards though, kind of.
Kind of made it
Just
look like a snap hook
diving
one, right? So
snap hook.
yeah. Yeah, but it was good, and like it was good to see. Obviously, like Taylor Pendrith played really well. He had a couple like it was the 16th hole was a par 3. What's that?
Yeah, he couldn't putt.
So he struggled on like that short par 3 each day, which was a tough look. But other than that, he played well. He putted pretty well in the second day. Like he putted great.
Saturday. I just didn't think he had it. I'm surprised they threw him back. I'm surprised they didn't throw anyone else in for Saturday afternoon. To be honest with you.
Yeah, they kind of kept the same teams going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they had, I think at that point in time they had Min Woo, like Chef Min or Chef Woo.
Yeah.
They had like it on the back of the jersey or whatever. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They had him sitting,
Ben on,
Bezenenhut, and I'm kind of going through the list right now, but yeah, it was those three, and then yeah, because Mac Hughes played with Corey Connors.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Pendy playing on the
Yeah,
all
he
day?
was.
Yeah.
He played Saturday.
Yeah, so it was just kind of Sungjae played, Hideki played, so I think it was just like it was a great event, and obviously we're always going to compare it to the Ryder Cup. So I did want to ask you, like, what do you think is the difference? Is it just like because it was pretty intense. Like the Ryder Cup is like we know, like it gets kind of crazy. The European crowds get crazy. Like it's so much fun. It looks like such a fun event to be at. But what do you think is the difference? Is it like the skill level?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's a skill level because I'm a firm believer that 1 through 25 in the world rankings is all pretty similar. I think they can beat anyone on any given day.
Yeah,
Um,
2 through 25. Yeah, probably.
I yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah,
3 maybe now, arguably,
yeah,
but I think it's something that we don't have any control of, which is just the history of it.
yeah,
It's just like the history of the Americans hating the Europeans and the Europeans hating the Americans just for this week, but it stems so far from that. Like the fans go nuts at each other, they go nuts at the
yeah,
players. The players want to be there, they want to beat, they want to win every point. I just think guys care a little more, to be honest with you. I don't know I don't know why. I want to say it's just the history of it and just kind of how the stars aligned with it. But I don't know. I also feel like with Europe, they're all really close, and kind
yeah.
of with international, you have fans from all over the world, obviously. So I think that has a little bit of to do with it too. But
That was kind of my thought is like the international was really spread out and it hasn't really become like even when we saw Hideki win the Masters, like we saw a massive like shift in global golf, right? And I
mm,
just obviously the home of golf is in Europe, right?
yeah,
The the most like there's the most golf being played in the United States probably by far, but um I think it's kind of like other sports, like it's starting to elevate around the world more now. And I think like seeing, you know, they had the Olympics like in Japan, I think, right? It was in Japan, yeah. So like there's just like more like they played golf there. The event was like great there. So I think like just being able to see some more of that and like having like globally just having like the game grow is helping because Mac Hughes was number 61 in the world and he was the lowest ranking player on the international team. But like, you know, like we've talked about that difference from Mac Hughes
yeah.
to
Like he
Patrick
wasn't getting
Cantlay.
crushed out there.
No. Like he actually like he's one of the best putters in the world. Like he's
Yeah.
a top 5 putter in the world, right? His short
Well, I'm pretty
games.
sure Mike Weir said that's kind of why he was there. It's because his
Yeah,
short is unbelievable.
yeah, and like he chipped in a couple times, he holed out a couple times, right? He made some like
Yep.
really long putts. He made a couple like 40 footers throughout the weekend,
Important ones
like
too. Yeah.
very important ones. So obviously, I just feel like, you know, if you put him up against like he can beat like Sahith, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and he can compete with those
Keegan
guys.
Bradley.
The difference between the two of or like the difference between those players isn't that much. So I think it's definitely closing the gap, and I think it was pretty intense. I think like I'm in a couple group chats, and like everybody is sort of talking about it, so it was kind of cool to see. Plus, it was on Canadian soil, which was really neat. I know that in the
Yeah.
future, like I kind of like looked it up earlier, and it
Yeah,
had
I
the
was just
ticker
gonna
for the
ask
next one,
that. I know it's coming to the States next year. I know they said where, but I forget where.
Medina. Yeah,
Medina.
it'll
But where?
be September 21 through 27, 2026 at Medina, and then I think there was like rumors of it maybe being in France after that.
Isn't France European? No,
Wait, no.
it wouldn't be in France.
No, that's where they're doing maybe that's where they're doing the next Ryder Cup. Getting them all blurred, but good tournaments. But um, where they did the Olympics. Anyway, so there's just so much of it to remember. But yeah, next year or well, 2 years from now, because it gets played every 2 years at Medina. So next year, the Ryder Cup. I can just like look it up. I can just take a
I know,
second
I'm
and look it up.
looking it up right now. 2028 President's Cup course, Kingston Heath, Australia.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah,
Hmm.
which would be pretty cool because
That'll be sick. The Australian fans might be nuts.
so you got to think like Jason Day is probably going to captain that one.
You don't think he'll still play 2 years?
Well,
There's a chance.
that'll be 4
There's a
years from
chance.
now. That'll be 4 years. Won't it?
4. You're right. You're right. You're right.
So he'll be like on the Greg Norman.
you're right.
I think Greg
You're
Norman will.
Yeah.
What
Well,
like
they were saying
what are the
the
odds
foreplay
that
guys were saying that.
yeah, is there going to be a world where Greg Norman potentially captains a
No.
President's Cup? I
I
doubt
don't
it.
think so.
I don't think 4 years is enough time to repair all the damage, but that's been
Yeah.
done. But
Like, imagine you get J Day and Adam Scott as captains, and then
yeah,
you got Minwoo Lee in there, and then maybe I don't know any other like really good Australians you can think of off the top of your head.
Greg Norman.
Yes.
I think like those two guys will probably be there. Like I feel like if anybody's still golfing and playing well, it's Adam Scott, man. The guy just doesn't seem to be like
Yeah.
slowing down.
The ageless wonder.
Yeah.
They could be though. I mean, Tiger played what last 2 years ago in the
Yeah.
President's Cup. So,
Yeah.
or was that 4 years ago? No, that was 2 years ago.
And I know that like they were asking if he would captain in a couple years, and I think he already declined.
Well, who, Tiger?
Yeah, or the
Well, I
Ryder
was
Cup.
listening to the Foreplay guys today, and they had some insight, and they brought up a really good point. So there's a tournament in Europe somewhere. I don't know the exact place. That Tiger, it's a member guest type thing,
Yeah.
or like a pro-am type, and he always goes every
Yeah.
single year, and he knows the course really well. So there's rumors that he denied this year, so that I think it's the next one is at that course, and he knows it like the back of his
I
hand.
think they play that the week before the Open.
So apparently that. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Unless Tiger's just like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with it. But I doubt that. That guy breathes golf. So
Yeah, I think it's probably just like a break in to let some other guys like have an opportunity to do it too, because he could just be the captain for years, man. Like until he doesn't want it anymore, right? So let's.
How good is the Ryder Cup going to be at Bethpage Black? Though that's going to be awesome.
Is that where it is next year?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. That's not too far away either. That's not too far.
I need Bryson DeChambeau on that golf team though.
Yeah, for sure. And I think
need him.
Yeah, I think it's already.
I don't care what happens next year. I need him there.
Well, they did say that like the Ryder Cup will be open now to.
Yeah, live players.
Yeah, to like live players or.
Which is huge for Europe. Europe's gonna be so much better now.
Yeah, I think so. The U.S. will be quite a bit better too, though, man. Bryson's probably the second best player in the world right now. I think it's him or Xander, right? It's probably Bryson over Xander right now. Maybe that's a hot take, but like it's hard to do the comparisons.
They're
but
both
like
top 3, top 5 for sure.
Those are the best 3 players in the world right now. It's hard to, So I think, but I feel like we just like miss Bryson a little bit, man. I know he's a bit quirky and stuff like that, but like. It would be plus like having Brooks. Brooks will still be there, man. Like if you're like he's not gonna be the guy anymore, but like he's gonna be, somebody who you want in a singles match because he's gonna take down almost whoever he plays in a singles match because he's gonna be like number 8, 9, 10, something like that. Who like you think somebody like it's gonna be hard to put like unless you're putting a guy like Shane Lowry against like Brooks, he's gonna take down Matt Fitzpatrick or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way that he plays, just the way that he is. Like it would be hard to play against Brooks. But let's have a bit of a shift back to the foreplay guys. But you watching Trent Daddy's game at all? Like are you gonna watch the Breaking 85 series?
No, I haven't really had time just with the baby. I feel like I'm always busy, and then when she's asleep, I'm asleep. So it's like it's kind of hard to find the extra time. I was actually just telling Shay earlier, like I usually sit on YouTube before I go to sleep all the time, and I don't think I've opened YouTube in a few weeks. Honestly.
That's how it is, man. That's the life, crazy, the adjustment. So. But yeah, I saw that he holed out from a bunker, and it looked like a 30 or 40-yard shot. And
oh, really?
I love because Trent gets in the comments, and he's like, "I'm still continuing my reign as like the best golfer or whatever." Right? He's just like. It's pretty funny because like watching him and Frankie, like the dynamic between them is like electric, man. It's great.
Yeah, their chemistry's awesome.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of them. I think the Breaking 85 series is a little bit premature. I love Trent, but I look at that golf swing and I think that golf swing's potentially still years away from Breaking 85. But
I think they know that
anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. They did that in Breaking 90. They took a break, right? But everything like the stars had to completely align for him to break 90. So I think, but it can happen. It can definitely happen. I just think it's like they're still a ways away from being able to do it, but never know. And I watched like some of the hater series with Riggs. I actually like those. Yeah, I actually like those a lot. They're pretty good. I just like when he because he's a little awkward himself, so I think it's like kind of funny. Like I think the dynamic of them is just it works out really good. But let's keep this one short and sweet. I'm gonna do a quick edit on this one, so we'll reschedule. So anybody who's kind of tuning in to check out the episode with Ryan from the Monday Q. There's so much going on with Korn Ferry Tour Q School right now. Maybe it'll be good to have a chat with him even next week after that kind of wraps up because that's kind of starting up right now as Bryce and I are talking here. And then we got one coming up like Fairway Candle. We got the Flatstick boys coming up. We got a couple like an in-person one with them. So we got a couple really cool episodes coming up in the next little while. So do all that stuff. Subscribe, click all the links and stuff like that. And if you're still with us at this point, we got some tough news there, Bryce, with our guy Chris Cousin Clubs there. So did you see that?
No.
Yeah. So he just posted it the other day. So he has testicular cancer. Luckily, his wife, his wife works in the industry. Got him in like really quick. Got one of them pulled out of there. So he's got a couple things to deal with. But just a message we're thinking about Chris, of course, because it's he's a good friend of ours. He's been friends of ours for years on the pod. So just thinking about him and do your thing. Check yourself too. We've had some past pods when we had a partnership with Manscaped that we worked with the Testicular Cancer Society. So, if you kind of hunt down, there's a couple reels on, they make light of how you can kind of check things out and whatnot. So go ahead, do that.
Check your nuts.
Yep, check your nuts and stay healthy. But we're thinking about Chris, man. Tough time. So yeah, he'll bounce back though. He's a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys again soon. See you, Brycer.
See ya.
Is out in my ball in the course where I tee up. I lose the ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross, worst case scenario.